That I watch that I really like is I think it's something about Tuscany, a life in Tuscany, somewhere in Tuscany, and it's an incredible feel-good movie. The whole thing through is so beautifully made. All the characters that build the house that the American woman goes and buys on impulse, and she moves to France, Tuscany, and the whole story is just fabulous. I loved it. I think I watched that by myself. Not sure how well Beth gets on with too much talking. In fact, any of the kids don't get on that well with too much talking. So I even got the kids in once and tried to get them to see Spider-Man. Or was it Superman? Spider-Man or Superman? As soon as it started to get too much talking, they're gone. So, the child welcome, bok choy. Yes, well, we've done that. Oh, and somebody mentioned about that the chickens were glad to see me and Beth, but they must have forgotten about the threat of KFC. We're not threatening them with KFC, okay? We can't, can we? How can we send Brad Pitt, the chicken, to KFC? You can't kill a chicken if it's got a name. You don't know what living with breath is like. So, anyway, children walk in every day. I already dealt with that. It's a fact of life, you know. And they don't look at that as being anything extraordinary, because they've already done it. They've already been used to it. Now, it's only in the West where if somebody parks a long way from the curb, the wife is likely to say, "It's all right, dear, I can walk to the curb from here." I've seen exercise gurus suggest that people get exercise by parking their car at the far end of the Walmart parking lot so that they have to walk. Oh gosh, it must be all of about 200 yards. They must be exhausted by the time they get there. But these kids have been walking this back and forth all their lives and will continue to walk that same walk every day unless it's really raining heavy, and then they don't go to school. Whereas people in the north, say in North America, they have snow days where the snow just makes it impossible for them to get to school. Well, here you in the West may not think of rain as being a blockade to school, but it is if it makes the path impassable and you can slip and fall. Beth has slipped and fallen when we have been walking, and I've fallen several times. It's so easy to slip and land on your rear end. It's just easy. So, that's that. Manny Pacquiao. Well, everybody's saying about Manny Pacquiao, and for me, he is, I always thought this about Manny Pacquiao, that he's a people's hero. Someone, I think, from Australia said that Horn is a very popular fighter there, but that another Australian has said he let me down. He disappointed me because he was not a sportsman. Almost everyone has said that Manny was robbed, and no doubt he will regain what he lost in this last fight, and let there be no doubt the next time. For me, Manny is a hero. So, now I did mention about a case which was on a cure. We're talking about curing cancer, and I mentioned the case where that apparently I understood to have been documented medically. I heard it from several sources about a man who is named. I don't know his name, but he apparently has been named. He discharged himself from hospital with cancer, and he took himself into a hotel, and He just took a bucket load of comedy programs, and he watched those comedy programs and he just laughed himself back into good health. Went back to the hospital. I'm not saying this was a 5-minute thing, and I'm not saying that that's all that he did. He may well have taken himself off all of that damaging, what I think of as damaging medication, and put himself onto natural cure stuff, probably a juicer, fresh fruit, fresh vegetables, and all of that. And if he could afford to just go and shack up in a hotel, he would have had the money to do that. So he cured himself. And I've heard of other people doing this where they cure themselves, and there is, I should really research this for you and make a video about it, but there is a place on the other side of the border, Mexican border in the States, close to San Diego, but it's just the other side of the border, and has frequently been used as an easy getaway over the border and back again, to be able to leave the US without it being marked on your passport. So people have done that for a long time. And this particular place has become the home of a clinic that is curing cancer. Now, why are they just over the border? Well, because in America the medical profession own the word cure. You're not allowed to use the word cure. Isn't that an irony? Even if you can cure something, you're not allowed to say that you can cure it, unless you are a certified, got that, certified medical practitioner. And that's why no matter what you see advertised or reported on about someone who has found something that can cure something else, they can never say that they can cure it. They have to put a disclaimer on there saying this is not a claim to cure anything, and before taking any medication or exercise you are advised to see a qualified medical practitioner. So they have to put that just to cover themselves. So that thing is over there, and it is, shh, young man, be quiet.
Butchoy kasi nag-video siya.
Medyo?
It's Butchoy. Come here. Now.
No.
Now what have you got to say? Huh?
Sabihin mo hello.
What have you got to say now?
Eyo.
Let's see that smile. That smile is just out of the way. It'll be all the better when you get some teeth at the front there. Okay, take your gun and get out of here.
Bye.
Get out of town. Okay? Go on.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Don't shoot anybody. So